Welcome back into another one of our standout students. Time to jump into a look at what's going on in the hallways at Buena Vista High School. Kaden McFee taking some time to talk with us, a junior here. And the junior year, an interesting year. You're kind of on that edge of being the top of the class, but how's it been going for you so far, Kaden?
Yeah, it's been going pretty well. You know, school's starting to be pick up a little bit. It's not quite as hard yet, but it'll pick back up.
Talking about school, obviously the classes are the big thing, but you kind of have a wide range of classes that you enjoy. What are some of your favorites to take?
Some of my favorites are wood shop, weights. I like civics, science. I like science a lot too.
You were mentioning that hands-on, and it kind of goes to show with three of those classes being really hands-on, and even civics, a very discussion-based class, most schools. You kind of like that environment. What makes that a really good spot for you to be in?
I just like that we can socialize with people and be ourselves and show what work that we can put into certain things.
When you talk about wood shop, you said that is your absolute favorite. If you could do that all day, 100% you would. What's the coolest thing that you've been able to do, or what are some of the stories that you have from wood shop that really draw you into that one?
Yeah, so taking general shops my freshman year, everybody was required to build a wall shelf, a lamp, and a sanding block. So I built all that stuff, and then I finished early, so I was like, I'm going to build a picnic table. So I just built a picnic table the last few weeks of school.
What was that project like, and do you like pushing yourself to try and get to that point where you can get to the extra level and get beyond the traditional?
Yeah, I mean, I was rushing to finish it the last few days, of course, but I just drew up some plans and got the lumber, started building it. Got it done though, so that's good.
Talk a little bit about some of the other classes. When you talk about something like, say, a civics, what draws you into the discussions in those classes? Is there a certain subject line that you like diving into the most?
In civics, I just like how the teacher is outgoing and he's just trying to start conversations with us, and we're open-minded to say what we want. Nobody's going to be judged in that class. It's just free discussion and nobody's wrong. Everybody feeds into it.
You said when teachers treat you like that like a young adult, basically, and don't treat you like a kid, that helps you in a classroom. What makes that change, and what do you think helps that to bring a different environment?
Yeah, so if you're treated like a kid, you're going to act like a kid. But if you're treated like a young adult, you're most likely going to act like a young adult. You have more respect for that teacher has more respect for you.
Talk a little bit about outside of school now. There's always lessons to be learned and a lot of stuff going on. You play football for the school and other sports as well, but what are some of the lessons that football this year has been able to teach you outside of the sport itself?
Yeah, so football, our coaches are really big into not who's the better athlete, they're big into who's the better person. So when you're outside of football, they expect you to use your manners and do the uncommon thing, because nowadays it's common to be disrespectful or not hold the door for people. Now you want to hold that door and be respectful and show what Buena Vista football really is.
Does that make it more inviting to come out to a team when you know it's not just about wins and losses, but you know it's going to be beneficial to you and everybody else there?
Yeah, everybody's a family here. If you're working like a family, the wins are going to come, but it's always a good time being out there.
We'll wrap it up with three more questions for you. The first one, when you look at going on to something after this, have you given too much thought about after high school yet, or is that kind of waiting for the senior year?
That's kind of waiting for the senior year. I mean, I've made a couple decisions. I'm not just going to pick a college or anything that I'm going to go to yet, but I guess we'll just see what the senior year brings.
What's some advice that you would give to somebody coming back here to Buena Vista High School, or a freshman coming into the school?
Just put as much work in as you expect to come back out. So do your work and it'll all be all right for you. But if you don't do your work, then you're just going to get that back.
And to round it out, what's your favorite thing about being a Demon? If somebody comes up to you in a couple years from now and says, "Hey, what was it like going to Buena Vista High School?" What would you tell them, and what would some of the memories you pass on be?
Some memories I'd pass on is just how everybody sticks together. There's not a bunch of fights here. Everybody's just a family. Everybody help each other out. We do study hall, the entire team, kids who are ineligible or not ineligible, everybody comes together and everybody helps each other with work. So it's just a good environment to be in.
That camaraderie has got to be something nice, and I'm excited to see where you guys go in the future. Kaden, thanks so much for the time, and good luck as you keep going through your junior year.
Yeah, thank you.